Hey, how's it going, ODB? How are you?
Hey, what's going on? I'm good. I'm on my food truck, so I'll be pulling some pork while I'm talking to you.
No worries. How's that going for you?
Just another Wednesday for me, right?
Absolutely. How's the food truck business going for you right now?
Freaking amazing. My 2020 was my best year, and now I'm in Florida with it, so I'm at Daytona Bike Week right now.
Nice. Oh, that must be perfect. So, I mean, obviously 2020 was just hard for everyone, but you're saying it's your best year. How does that work out?
I got my brand new food truck, so I thought outside the box, and I was like the ice cream woman. I went to neighborhoods and fed people.
Amazing. And obviously now you're back in Impact too. You're fighting for the Knockouts Championship on Saturday. It's going to be
how did that happen? Shit.
Exactly. It's going to be a great match. I mean, other than wanting to be Knockouts champion again, what brought you back to Impact for this latest stint?
Honestly, I've never been done with wrestling, and obviously Impact has always been my home. And, I've never burned a bridge, and it's been like, and they've always contacted me. They're like, hey, you want to get back in the ring? I was like, hell yeah, my outfit still fits, so I'm good.
So between Impact and the food truck, have you been able to balance everything out as well as you probably could, as well as you can imagine?
Yeah, like I love actually. It gives me a break from the food truck, so I actually like getting on an airplane and going to wrestle.
Yeah. I'm sure. And you mentioned how Impact is your home. What's that being like? I mean, obviously being back in Impact, you've called it your home for so many years now. Is that feeling never really going away, going back to Impact, feeling like you're at home, seeing all the same talent that you've seen for years now?
It's been great because going back, you got Eric Young, Diener, you got the Good Brothers, you got James Storm, and it's like, oh, yeah, it's just like the good old days,
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's what I love. And then you got, all the backstage guys, and it's just, it feels good to like we've all known each other for, oh my gosh, at least 20 years. So it's good to catch up. And now I'm at a, stage in my life where I love wrestling with the younger, the girls, and because they're all very hungry and they're trying to put their name on the map. And where I've already done that, so I'm in a good, stage where I'm like, I want to help the youngins out. But I'm just having fun now. I'm just like, yeah, let's just, go out, no need to be nervous or nothing, just put on a good show.
Exactly. And it's funny that you mentioned Eric Young and Diener as well, because you have so much history with both of them from earlier on.
I know, right? It's like, God, all my exes are there. What the hell?
I mean, I remember that. I remember when you guys went to Universal Studios. I think it was you and Diener. We're going back like 10, 11 years now.
We had our date, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember that very fondly. It was one of my favorite TNA skits from that point in time. And it's crazy to see all of you back in the same place at the same time for probably the first time in a decade or so, Yeah,
because Diener was gone, and then I went after his best friend, married him, and and then he went away for a little bit. Now they're all, I would like to actually cross paths with those two, but now they're all serious, and, they don't have time for ODB anymore, I guess.
I guess not. We'll see on Saturday because they have a match of their own, and I know you're going for the Knockouts Championship. But, speaking of that, Deonna Purrazzo, she's been on a roll lately, one of the better champions that Impact has had in a while for the Knockouts division. Have you been keeping up with what the Knockouts have been doing during your time away from Impact?
I have, and all those girls are representing the Knockouts great because we put the Knockouts on the map, back in 2007, and we all wanted to make sure the knockout division was also different characters, and every girl on the roster right now is so different and so unique. I'm loving it with Deonna. Like, she's a great, knockout champ, but I've been 4-time knocked up champ, so she better not, take me lightly here. So I will put the bam to her ass.
And it's funny too, because women's wrestling now is just so prominent, and I think TNA, a lot of people would agree, really started that movement back in the late 2000s when you yourself was there. Gail Kim, Awesome Kong, the list goes on and on. The Beautiful People as well. How much have you seen that division evolve from what it was 12 years ago to today with them? Again, women's wrestling isn't just prominent in Impact, but now it's prominent everywhere in every company you could possibly imagine.
Damn, you say 12 years ago, I feel old. Why, thank God for social media, when you see memories popping up and you see us all, and, they all say the evolution started, with the other company. It's like, bullshit, we started that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool to see all of us. And now all the knockouts that I grew up with, we're all in different stages in our life. And it's cool to see some, like Awesome Kong, did a phenomenal job in Glow, and all, a lot of people are, having kids, got married, and that's great to see, all the girls do that. And then it's exciting to, go back and be with a different era.
Mm-hmm. And being back now for the first time since you were around for a little while in early 2020
I came back
as well.
about a year ago.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Yeah, and it's weird now because obviously there's no fans there, and your character specifically is so audience-centric just for that reaction, So has that been weird to be back with no fans in the audience?
Oh, I'm talking to myself when I'm out there. And I talk a lot, so I'm surprised my matches aren't censored. Like one long beep.
Yeah.
But it's honestly, I thought it was going to be a little different. Obviously, it's different, but it's actually not bad. I still have the same energy. Now I'm like, you know what? I got to work even harder for the people at home that are watching.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of makes me step up my game a little bit, with no crowd. But it is a little odd when you're like, what? No one's chanting for me? What the hell's going on?
I mean, especially when you come back and you don't get that big pop that you're hoping for. You're back for the first time in a year. If the fans are there, they would have gone crazy for you. But it's
yeah. You come out, your music. I'm like, anyone here? This thing on? What's going on?
Exactly. How is this ODB different from when you last held the Knockouts Championship? I think it was in 2013. It's been a little while since you held that title. You're going for it on Saturday.
God.
How much have you evolved yourself since that time?
Oh boy. Well, I grew up a lot actually, but I just, back then I was so hungry, and I was just so proud to be part of the, the first ever knockout division. And I was so driven. Obviously I'm driven more in a different way this time, but now it kind of means something more to me right now since I'm one of the OGs. So now I gotta go after that knocked up title to represent the original OGs, So, they all call us old timers, but, come on now.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of going off that as well, I know you mentioned in a previous interview, I think it was with Chris Van Vliet a couple of months ago, you guys had a great conversation. Yeah. It was a really, really good interview. And you guys talked for a while about, wanting to motivate people, helping people, inspiration and stuff like that, which I thought was awesome. How much of the character of ODB that we see on screen is you behind the scenes, you in real life, or how is that kind of overlapped over the years when it comes to that kind of stuff?
I've obviously built my brand with my lifestyle. With the ODB, obviously, I'm not that obnoxious in real life. I'll give me a few, PBRs maybe. Yeah. But I'm very mellow. Like when people meet me, they're like, "Oh, wow, you're basically like your character, but just toned down a little bit." And I'm not like grabbing my boobs, but everyone wants me, to give them a bam when they meet me.
Yeah.
But it's very but honestly, like pro wrestling, like being ODB, has actually gotten out of my shell because I grew up as a little shy girl, if you can believe that. So it really got me out of my shell.
And you mentioned in that same interview, too, and I love that you brought this up, how the food truck burning down that you mentioned at the start of this conversation was the best thing to ever happen to you, and how you kind of took that and really made the most out of the opportunity, how 2020 was your best year because of that. And I think the timing of when you said that was so perfect, too, because, again, coming off of 2020, a lot of people had hard years, still tough times even going today.
Yeah.
What kind of advice can you bestow upon people that are going through kind of something similar, feel like it was maybe the worst thing to happen to them, how they can kind of turn it into the best thing that they could possibly happen to them as well?
Yeah, the main thing is stop feeling sorry for yourself. I know we all go through difficult times with it's, money, relationships, losing your job, your home. You just got to make the most of it. And I swear probably a lot of people in my situation would have screwed getting another food truck and just taken the money and, done something else.
Yeah.
But having that food truck burned down, obviously when I saw it, I was like, what the hell? There goes everything, everything. I was like, oh boy. And, you have a little breakdown, but I snapped out of it. I'm like, all right, done. It literally maybe took half a day, and I'm like, I'm done with this shit. Now it's time to move on. And DDP reached out to me within 24 hours of my food truck burning down.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, what's up, ODB? It's DDP. I was like, damn. I was like, what's up, man? And he, he's like, we've all been there, and he's like, wrestling world loves you, and you don't realize how much you're loved when something bad happens. But it's all about, you just got to get through stuff. I mean, life is not easy in anything. I mean, you just got to, I think the harder you work, the more stuff is going to come at you. Like, it's amazing what I've done in 2020, and now I'm in 2021, and I'm just going to keep on trucking with this food truck and keep wrestling as long as I can.
Yeah, no, for sure. And final few questions for you, ODB. It's such an exciting time right now in Impact specifically. With the Knockouts division, we got the working relationships with New Japan, with AEW. We saw you in the Women's Battle Royal at All Out a couple of years ago when you were a part of it. And you had your food truck at StarCast weekend in Chicago. Let's say this working relationship extends over to AEW. You get to work with someone on that roster. Are there anyone in that women's division in AEW that you would like to work with at some point specifically?
Ooh, that's a good one. Actually, all the Japan girls. I've been in Japan once in my career.
Ooh, okay.
And it was later in my career, actually, and I really enjoyed it. That would be good. And then, oh, boy, Nyla Rose, actually, I would like to get in the ring with.
Oh, okay. That'd be a great match, yeah.
Yes, because I've always loved working with Awesome Kong, so I'd love to get in the ring with bigger chicks than me, and it's a challenge for me.
Yeah.
So, and then Britt Baker.
Yep.
I'd also like to kick her ass, so that'd be fun.
That'd be a great clash of styles, a great clash of characters. It's got to happen at some point. Kind of going off your history with Awesome Kong and people like that. Final question for you: do you have a favorite, whether it be a match or a memory from your time in Impact that really stands out? As whether it be when you first won the Knockouts Championship or their wedding with Eric Young, which did like monster numbers when that happened. So many great memories. Do you have a favorite yourself?
Oh boy, honestly, yes. Actually, the wedding that me and EY did was probably my most memorable moment. I thought it was very cool because not many wrestlers get to have that moment in their wrestling career, and we actually took it and made good of it. You know what I mean? Because some weddings can be a disaster, but we actually got married in the ring, and it was cool. And then I remember that moment. Just feeling it was because EY is such a phenomenal person and an awesome worker all around. And I had so much, like, our chemistry was just off the chart. Like, we would just bounce off each other, and we had a blast working with each other. And then, like, I remember after, the cameras went off and we're sitting in, in our undies in the ring. And then we're like, all right, can someone unlock us to get out of the cage here? And then we walked back. And the first person I see, everyone standing up and back clapping. I was like, oh, my God, that's so cool. And then the first person I see is freaking Hulk Hogan.
Oh, God.
And he's standing there, and I'm like, hey. And he's like, get over here, ODB. And I hugged Hulk Hogan in my brown panties. Oh, yeah.
That's just an amazing visual right there alone. I mean, how can that not be your highlight of your TNA run,
And then he asked me, he's like, do you want my shirt? I was like, I'll get your shirt later.
I love it. And it's funny, too, because that was around the time that you and Eric were the Knockouts Tag Team Champions, too.
Yep.
And we haven't had the Knockouts Tag titles around in a while until just recently they were reintroduced. I think you and Eric have gone down as the longest reigning women, or the Knockouts Tag Team Champions, right?
And we never lost them. Brooke Hogan took them away from us. So I would love to actually go back for the tag titles.
Yeah, well, Eric Young, again, he's currently busy with the whole Violent by Design stuff. I mean, maybe if
I had to find a new partner.
or if he comes back around to it, maybe we could see a reunion at some point. We'll say.
Yeah, so I'll get him snapped out of whatever he's doing right now.
Exactly. Well, we got Sacrifice coming up on Saturday night. You and Deonna Purrazzo for the Knockouts Championship. It's going to be great. ODB, thanks so much for the time. This has been a blast talking to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was good reminiscing about everything.
Absolutely. Best of luck with the food truck. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right, thank you.